Another month in lockdown. Prime Minister Boris Johnson confirmed last night the 1-month extension to a target date for lifting remaining COVID-19 restrictions. Freedom Day will no longer happen on the 21st of June, but instead we're now keeping everything crossed for the 19th of July. But what will this delay mean for businesses? Chancellor Rishi Sunak has reportedly rejected calls to extend the furlough scheme in line with that 1-month delay. In this video, why extending lockdown measures without extending government financial support could lead to catastrophic outcomes for businesses across the UK. The Guardian is reporting that sources close to the Chancellor say he believes sufficient economic support measures are already in place to help businesses manage this 1-month extension to the easing of COVID restrictions. According to this story, which I'll link to in the description below, Sunak is rejecting calls for an extension to the furlough scheme, also to business rates relief. He's rejecting them despite so-called Freedom Day being pushed out by a month, and that's amidst a rising infection rate from a more virulent Delta variant. According to business leaders and the opposition Labour Party, by not extending government financial support measures in line with this extension to public health restrictions, struggling businesses now face bankruptcy, and we could see thousands of jobs lost as a result. The news from Boris Johnson last night, while thoroughly leaked in the press for the past week or so, comes as a serious blow to those businesses that are desperate to get back to normal trading conditions. In a way, some businesses, I think, were better off when full restrictions were in place because they could furlough staff, they could recover the majority of their operating expenses, and they could benefit from local grant schemes and access to cheap government-backed loans. Where they are right now, in this middle ground between full lockdown and freedom, is placing a great deal of pressure on businesses just to survive. For example, I spoke to a local publican at the weekend, and the current restrictions are absolutely killing his business, forcing him to operate at a fraction of his full capacity and having to pay extra staff to run table service instead of allowing customers to buy drinks from the bar. He, like so many others out there, are desperate to return to normal trading conditions. This 1-month extension to Freedom Day is a significant blow to his business model, and now we learn it comes without any extension to financial support measures. Turning back to this article in The Guardian, sources close to the Chancellor say he had already intentionally gone long with the support measures in place in case an extension to the restrictions was required. So cast your mind back to the budget back in March when the furlough scheme was extended until September. At the time, that felt like a bad omen. It suggested that public health restrictions would be in place for longer than most people probably expected at the time. One of the big issues with this is the terms of the furlough scheme are changing next month. Employers will start contributing 10% of the wage from the start of July, with the employer contribution rising then to 20% in August. So employees on furlough, they keep getting their same 80% of wages, but taxpayers contribute less and employers contribute more. Lots of people are still on furlough. The latest stats show that more than 2.1 million people were on furlough. That's as of mid-May. And that includes 1 in 5 people in the hospitality sector. Other schemes coming to an end are the business rates holiday and also a moratorium on commercial landlords demanding full rent arrears are paid. Both of those end on the 1st of July. However, Treasury officials are negotiating a deal with commercial landlords designed to write off some of the rent arrears accrued during the pandemic. Just a realisation that those arrears will never realistically be paid. That might help to ease some of the pressure on some businesses if a deal is ultimately struck. Commenting in The Guardian is Ed Miliband, who's the Shadow Business Secretary, saying that businesses are worried about the economic support being removed while trading restrictions continue. He said the price of any delay to the roadmap must not be paid by businesses. Nightclubs and live music venues, many restaurants and bars, the events, arts and wedding industries are still seriously affected by restrictions, but they have repeatedly been left in the dark about economic support. It must remain in step with public health restrictions. Also providing a comment is Kate Nichols, who is Chief Executive of UK Hospitality, the trade body, who believes that rent payments and business rates could prove to be the final nail in the coffin for some businesses, saying that will be a real problem where you suddenly have a big amount of money to pull out, but your revenues are still suppressed. We've already seen a warning from the hospitality industry about the likely cost of a 4-week delay to stage 4 on the roadmap for England at least, costing a potential £3 billion and placing 200,000 jobs at risk. Another expert commenting in The Guardian is Dr. Roger Barker, Director of Policy at the Institute of Directors, who said, "We are now approaching a cliff edge, with government support for businesses ending or beginning to taper off. It is vital that this support is pushed out commensurately with the lockdown extension. I don't agree with an extension to public health restrictions that isn't accompanied by an equivalent extension to government financial support. In a free market, you have to allow businesses to trade without restriction, or, as the government's done since the start of this pandemic, put sufficient support measures in place. Yes, I know there are still support measures in place, but will these truly be enough for those businesses, especially in the hospitality sector, that are still not allowed to get back on their feet and operate at full capacity? Businesses in the retail, hospitality and leisure sectors are going to see their business rates relief cut from 100% to 66% on the 1st of July. That discount is still substantial and it stays in place until the end of next March, but it's an unwelcome cost being reintroduced at a time when restrictions remain in place. Another significant factor in these sectors is the lack of workers, with job vacancies rising and a serious problem filling those roles. Where have all the workers gone? We know that many, of course, have returned to Europe following Brexit, and no doubt we're seeing a change in attitudes towards work, with older workers in particular choosing to cut their working hours, choosing life over work. A big move away from city centre living is no doubt contributing to this worker shortage too, as businesses do gradually reopen. Responding to this article in The Guardian, a Treasury spokesperson said, "The furlough scheme is in place until September. We deliberately went long with our support to provide certainty to people and businesses over the summer." The number of people on the furlough scheme has already fallen to the lowest level this year, with more than 1 million coming off the scheme in March and April, showing our plan for jobs is working. Businesses can also continue to access other support, including business rates cuts, VAT cuts, and our recovery loan scheme. There you have it. Another month to wait until Freedom Day, assuming it actually happens in July, but no further extension to furlough, business rates relief, or other government financial support measures. What do you make of it all? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know in the comments below. Do make sure you press the like button for this video. It really helps me with the YouTube algorithm, presenting my videos to more people. And press that subscribe button too. Subscribers get reminders when I publish new videos, and they also get a warm fuzzy feeling inside when they press on the subscribe button. Give it a go. Thank you for watching this video. Until next time, I'm Martin Bamford, and remember, when it comes to your money, the more you know, the faster it can grow.